What if I told you that right now, sitting in your own kitchen, there is something you consume almost every day thinking it is completely harmless? Something that drop by drop, day after day, is quietly shutting down two of the hardest working organs in your body. I'm Dr. Dan Carter, and I have spent a significant part of my career watching patients arrive at the clinic with kidney damage that could have been prevented. Adults who come in when the damage, unfortunately, is already advanced. And it breaks my heart every time, because the thing that caused it was sitting on their kitchen counter the whole time. Today, I'm going to be direct with you. No complicated medical language, no jargon. I'm going to talk to you the way I would if you were sitting right across from me. I'm going to reveal the worst poison that is silently destroying your kidneys without you realizing it. And the most unsettling part is that you have most likely already consumed it today. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how it works, why it is so dangerous, and most importantly, how to protect yourself before the damage becomes permanent. Thank you for being here and giving a few minutes of your time to the most valuable thing any of us have, our health. As a physician, my purpose is not just to treat illness, it is to help people avoid it in the first place. And one of the hardest things I face in my work is seeing good people, full of life and energy, dealing with kidney damage that did not have to happen. The problem with the kidneys is that they suffer in silence. They are the unsung heroes of your entire body. Think of it this way. Imagine you own the most advanced water purification system in the world, and it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without ever stopping. That is what your kidneys do. They filter every drop of your blood, removing toxins, waste products, and excess fluid your body does not need. But they do far more than just filter. They regulate your blood pressure. They help produce red blood cells so you do not become anemic. They keep your bones strong. They are the foundation that allows everything else in your body to function properly. So what happens when that system starts to fail? No alarm goes off. There is no sharp pain to warn you. Chronic kidney disease is a thief. It moves in slowly, year after year, and by the time you notice clear symptoms, swelling in the ankles, a fatigue that will not lift no matter how much you rest, muscle cramps that come out of nowhere, the damage can be severe, sometimes irreversible. I have sat across from too many older adults who arrived at my office frightened and confused, facing dialysis or even a transplant. And the question that always hangs in the air is the same. Doctor, how did I not realize this was happening? The answer is painful. Nobody warned them clearly enough about the everyday poisons that were quietly sabotaging their health. That is exactly why I am making this video, because information is the best protection you have. And today, I want to hand you that protection. We are going to unmask several of these hidden enemies. I have organized them into a list, from the most common to what I consider the most dangerous of all. So stay with me. What you learn in the next few minutes could genuinely change the course of your health. Before we get into the list, it is important to understand why, as the years go by, we become more vulnerable to these poisons. Age changes the rules. Just as our eyesight fades or our hair turns gray, the kidneys age too. Their filtering capacity, what doctors call the glomerular filtration rate, decreases gradually with each decade. Think of it like the engine of a car with a lot of miles on it. It still runs, of course, but it no longer has the same power it had when it was new. Now imagine that instead of giving that well-worn engine clean, high-quality oil, you fill it with low-grade fuel and force it to climb steep hills every single day. What do you think happens? It breaks down much sooner than it should. That is precisely what many of us do to our kidneys without realizing it. For 50, 60, or 70 years, we expose them to substances that in our youth seemed harmless, but left behind a small scar. And those scars accumulate. It is this cumulative effect that can ultimately lead to kidney failure. On top of that, with age, conditions like hypertension and type 2 diabetes become more likely to develop. And I want to be very clear about this. These two diseases are the two leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. They are like two hammers constantly striking the delicate internal structure of your kidneys. That means anything that contributes to or worsens diabetes and high blood pressure is a direct attack on your kidney health. Today, we are going to give those attackers a name. To make this as clear as possible, I have prepared a list of 4 poisons. We will start with one that is neither eaten nor drunk, but is just as harmful. From there, we will work our way up to number 1, the most dangerous, most addictive, and most widespread of all. The true wolf in sheep's clothing. Let's begin. Poison number 4. A sedentary lifestyle. The stagnant water that suffocates your kidneys. The first poison on our list may surprise you because it is not something you eat or drink. It is something you do not do. I am talking about physical inactivity, spending hours upon hours sitting, whether watching television, reading, or staring at a screen. You might be thinking, what does sitting have to do with my kidneys? The answer is everything. Your kidneys depend on strong, healthy blood flow to do their job. Picture a powerful river. The water moves with force, carries debris away, and stays clean. Now picture a puddle of stagnant water. Mud collects, everything stagnates, and the water turns toxic. Your circulatory system is that river. When you move, when you walk, your heart pumps harder and blood circulates vigorously through your body, reaching the millions of tiny filters inside your kidneys with force. That blood flow gives them the power to clean your system effectively. But when you spend hours sitting, everything slows down. Blood flow becomes sluggish, like water in a stagnant pond. And that creates the perfect conditions for the kidney's worst enemies to take hold: obesity, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. When you do not move, your body does not use blood sugar properly. That leads to insulin resistance and eventually to diabetes. Inactivity also promotes weight gain, which forces your heart to work harder and drives blood pressure up. Every extra pound is an additional burden on your kidneys. The solution? Move. And do not panic. You do not have to become an athlete overnight. The solution is simpler than you think. Start by breaking up long periods of sitting. Set a reminder on your phone for every hour. When it goes off, stand up. Walk around the house. Get a glass of water. Stretch your arms. That simple act alone reactivates your circulation. The next step is a daily walk. It does not need to be long. Start with 10 minutes around the block. Next week, try 15. The key is consistency, not intensity. Walking is one of the best things you can do for your body. It benefits your heart, controls blood sugar, strengthens bones, and most importantly, sends healthy blood flow directly to your kidneys. If you have mobility issues, there are excellent exercises you can do from a chair. Move your arms, lift your legs, rotate your ankles. Everything counts. Any movement is better than no movement. Remember the river. Every step you take sends a wave of clean blood to your kidneys. Poison number 3, the deception of harmless pain pills. This one hides in plain sight in nearly every household medicine cabinet. It is that pill you reach for without thinking when you have a headache, back pain, or an arthritis flare-up. I am talking about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, commonly known as NSAIDs. Names like ibuprofen, naproxen, and diclofenac are familiar to all of us. Millions of people take them regularly, assuming that because they are sold over the counter, they must be safe. That is the great deception. While NSAIDs are effective for pain relief, frequent or long-term use, particularly in higher doses, can be genuinely harmful to the kidneys, especially in older adults. Let me explain how it works in simple terms. For your kidneys to receive adequate blood flow, your body produces substances called prostaglandins that keep the small arteries in the kidneys properly open. The problem is that NSAIDs work by blocking those exact prostaglandins to reduce pain elsewhere in the body, but they do not distinguish. They also block the prostaglandins that protect your kidneys. The result is that the arteries inside the kidneys contract and narrow, and the flow of blood and oxygen reaching them drops drastically. Think of it like stepping on a garden hose while trying to water a plant. The water cannot reach the plant, and it starts to wither. The same thing happens to your kidneys. But the real danger is the silent nature of the damage. Taking these pills daily for chronic pain like arthritis is like stepping on that hose and releasing it, over and over, day after day. Over time, the filters become scarred and stop functioning. It is a slow process that produces no symptoms until it is already too late. The solution? Respect both the pain and the pill. Does that mean you should just suffer through the pain? Of course not. Quality of life matters. The solution is to be smart about it, and above all, to involve your doctor. First, and most important, never self-medicate with NSAIDs on a chronic basis. If pain lasts more than a few days, the answer is not to keep swallowing pills. It is to see your doctor and find out what is actually causing the pain. The goal is not to silence the alarm. It is to find where the fire is. Second, be honest with your doctor about everything you take. That includes vitamins, herbal supplements, and over-the-counter pills. Many cold medicines and sleep aids contain hidden NSAIDs that you may not be aware of. Third, explore alternatives. For occasional pain, acetaminophen is generally safer for the kidneys when taken at the correct dose. And consider non-pharmaceutical options: physical therapy, heat, cold, stretching. These can do wonders and reduce your dependence on painkillers. The bottom line: NSAIDs are powerful medications. Using them occasionally is fine. Relying on them daily without medical supervision is like gambling with your kidney health. Poison number 2. Salt, the invisible enemy in your food. This is perhaps the most underestimated poison of all. It is in kitchens across the world, and almost everyone misjudges how much of it they are actually consuming. I am talking about salt, or more precisely, sodium. Many of my patients tell me, "But doctor, I barely use the salt shaker." And that is the great misunderstanding. The problem is not the salt you sprinkle on your food. It is the massive amount of sodium hidden inside processed foods. It is estimated that more than 75% of the sodium we consume comes from there, not from the salt shaker. It is in bread, in deli meats, in cheese, in canned soup, in sauces, in frozen meals, in virtually everything that comes in a package. The food industry uses it to extend shelf life and enhance flavor. It is an invisible aggressor. And why is it so damaging? Your body needs a small amount of sodium to function, but when you overwhelm it with excess, the balance breaks. To dilute all that sodium, your body retains fluid. It makes you thirstier. It signals your kidneys to hold on to every drop of water. The result is that the volume of blood in your arteries increases and the pressure inside them spikes. That is arterial hypertension. Hypertension is the second leading cause of kidney failure. The filters inside your kidneys are a network of extremely delicate, tiny blood vessels. Imagine trying to clean a piece of fine silk with a fire hose at full pressure. You would destroy it. That is exactly what high blood pressure does to your kidneys, day after day. It damages them, scars them, and eventually destroys them in a vicious cycle. The solution? Become a label detective. Protecting yourself from this poison requires a shift in how you think about food. It is not about eating bland, tasteless meals. It is about eating intelligently. Your most powerful tool is learning to read nutrition labels. Turn the package around and look for the sodium content. You will be stunned by the amount of sodium in foods that do not even taste salty, things like certain cereals and cookies. The general recommendation is to stay below 2,000 to 2,300 milligrams per day. If you already have high blood pressure, your target should be closer to 1,500 milligrams. Second, cook more at home. When you prepare your own food, you have complete control over what goes into it. Third, rediscover real flavor. Nature has given us an entire arsenal of herbs and spices that can transform any dish. Garlic, onion, pepper, oregano, rosemary, turmeric, cumin, paprika. Lemon juice and vinegar are also excellent for adding brightness without a single milligram of sodium. And one simple trick: if you buy canned vegetables, rinse them thoroughly under running water before using them. That single step removes a large portion of the added sodium. Within a few weeks, your taste buds will recalibrate and you will start noticing the actual flavors of food. It is genuinely liberating. Poison number 1. Sugar and refined flour, the sweet and deadly duo. We have talked about inactivity, painkillers, and salt, all serious threats. But now we arrive at what I consider the number 1 poison, the undisputed champion of silent destruction, the most addictive, the most present in our daily diet, and the one that causes the most devastating damage to your kidneys. This poison is not some rare chemical. It is something we associate with celebration, with comfort, with reward. I am talking about sugar, and its inseparable partner, refined flour. That sweet white powder, desserts, soft drinks, but also white bread, regular pasta, and cookies. In my experience, this duo is the primary reason why diabetes has become the number 1 cause of kidney failure in the world. It is a path I see repeated again and again. Excessive sugar and refined flour consumption leading to diabetes, leading to kidney damage, leading to dialysis. Why am I so firm about this? Because sugar and refined flour, which your body converts into sugar almost instantly, do not attack from a single angle. They launch a coordinated assault from multiple fronts at the same time. Front 1. The direct highway to diabetes. The number one cause of kidney failure is diabetes, and excessive consumption of sugar and refined flour is the primary driver behind type 2 diabetes. When you eat them, they trigger a flood of glucose in your blood. The pancreas goes into overdrive, releasing insulin to bring it under control. When this happens every single day, your cells gradually become resistant to insulin, and sugar remains circulating in the blood. That is how type 2 diabetes begins. And once blood sugar remains chronically elevated, the damage to the kidneys is severe. Sugar essentially caramelizes the kidney filters, making them rigid and destroying their function. This is called diabetic nephropathy, and it is the fastest route to dialysis. Front 2. Hypertension. We used to believe that salt was the only culprit behind high blood pressure. But we now know that sugar is equally harmful, if not worse. A diet high in sugar raises blood pressure independently, so even if you manage your salt intake perfectly, sugar will continue hammering your kidneys. Front 3. Silent inflammation. Sugar is fire inside your body. It triggers chronic, low-grade inflammation that damages the inner lining of all your arteries, including the ones inside your kidneys. Front 4. Obesity and fatty liver. Excess sugar that your body does not burn gets converted into fat. That fat accumulates, drives obesity, which is another independent risk factor for kidney disease, and deposits in the liver, causing fatty liver disease, yet another condition that disrupts your entire metabolism and harms the kidneys further. As you can see, it is a total attack from every direction. That is why I call it the number one poison. The solution? Take back control. The encouraging news is that this enemy can be defeated, and the key is knowledge. First, understand that sugar has many names on food labels: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose. They are all disguises for the same thing. Second, eliminate the most obvious sources: sugary drinks, sodas, commercial fruit juices, sweetened iced teas. These are liquid sugar. A single can of soda can contain more than 10 teaspoons. Replace them with water, sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon, or herbal infusions. This one change alone is perhaps the most powerful thing you can do for your kidneys. Third, be cautious with low-fat products. Manufacturers often remove the fat and replace it with sugar to maintain flavor. Always choose the natural version. Plain yogurt instead of flavored yogurt, and add your own fresh fruit. Fourth, replace white flour with whole grains. Real whole grain bread, brown rice, rolled oats. The fiber they contain slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. And finally, embrace real food. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, meat, fish, eggs, nuts. When your diet is based on whole, unprocessed foods, sugar and refined flour almost disappear on their own. Breaking free from sugar is the single most powerful act of defense you can give your kidneys. We have covered important ground today. 4 silent poisons that threaten your kidney health. Number 4, a sedentary lifestyle that stagnates your circulation. Number 3, over-the-counter painkillers that can silently strangle your kidneys. Number 2, hidden salt that drives your blood pressure through the roof. Number 1, sugar and refined flour, the duo that launches a total assault on your body. You might feel a little overwhelmed right now, and I understand that. But my goal was never to frighten you. It was to give you the information you need to make better decisions. The truth, even when it is uncomfortable, is the only thing that puts you in control. Kidney disease does not have to be your future. Every single one of these poisons is within your control. You decide whether you get up from the chair. You decide whether you talk to your doctor before taking another pill. You decide whether you flip the package over and read the label. You decide whether you reach for water instead of soda. It is not about changing everything overnight. It is about taking one small step today and another one tomorrow. Every home-cooked meal is a victory. Every walk around the block is another layer of protection for your kidneys. You have the power to change your health story, starting right now. If this video opened your eyes or made you think differently about something, I want to ask you to do one important thing: share it. Send it to your children, your partner, a friend, a neighbor. Information that can protect someone's health needs to reach as many people as possible. And if you want to keep receiving clear, practical advice for your health, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me, what surprised you the most about what we discussed today? Is there something you did not know before? Something you plan to change starting now? I read every comment, and your responses help me understand what this community needs most. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving this time to the thing that matters most. Remember, your kidneys work tirelessly for you every single second of every single day. Return the favor with conscious decisions. I'm Dr. Dan Carter. I wish you a long, healthy, and energetic life. Take care of your kidneys. Take care of yourself. I will see you in the next one.